Hi, this is Bridget Lyons with Unfettered Inc., and I'm here with a PR primer. Do you ever wonder if social media is the only way to reach out to your customers? There's so much advice out there about how you can set up a blog, your Twitter, and your Facebook page that a lot of people are left wondering, well, is this something that I really have to be doing? Is this right for me? Well, that is exactly what Suzanne wrote in wanting to know. Suzanne writes, I have a seasonal garden shop open 4 months of the year. I'm confused as to how I should allocate my marketing dollars. Currently, I underwrite public radio and our active months and send out a postcard before we open. I'm also toying with creating an email newsletter that would go out once a month during the growing season. But here's Susan's problem. Everywhere I read that if you're not on social media, you're dead. I started a blog, but after we closed for the season, I'm traveling or working on other projects, so I'm unable to keep it up. I'm not on Facebook for the same reason. What would be the best way for a seasonal business to allocate and use a marketing budget? Susan, this is a great question, and I have some good news for you. For your business, I do not think it is at all necessary for you to be on social media, and I actually think that there are 3 actions that you should be taking that are going to yield even more dividends than being on social media. So the very first thing for you to do is go ahead and start that email newsletter. This is the most important thing that you can be doing to keep in touch with your customers, especially since you're a seasonal business. So here are a few tips on how to get started with that email newsletter. First, the content is so important. You want to be making sure that your content is educational, that in addition to promoting your shop, you're providing tips for your readers so that they have a reason to tune into it. I'm going to send it out a minimum of once a month. The reason for this is really simple. I mean, think back to a time when you've subscribed to a newsletter and you haven't heard from the person in 3 months. What happens? You get the email and you're like, who is this? Why am I getting this email? I don't remember signing up for this. I don't know who this person is, and I'm going to delete it. Or even worse, you're going to hit the spam button. We do not want that happening to you. We want people to tune into your newsletter. Also, in terms of frequency, I really want to urge you during the growing season to increase that frequency to every other week or weekly if you can manage it. And again, the reason for this is simple. You are never going to get 100% open rate. Okay, so now we've covered your email newsletter. Once you get that up and running, move on to the next step, which is to reach out to your local media. Since you're already working with your public radio, you already have a great head start to working with them. Now, you absolutely cannot pitch your advertising partner. There is a very strict line between the advertising and the editorial staff at a traditional media outlet. But what you can do is figure out what segment you'd like to be on and call your advertising contact. And you say, hey, I've really enjoyed working with you. I'd like to pitch a segment for so-and-so program. Can you tell me who the producer or the booking agent is for that program? And your advertising partner will happily give that to you. So then it's up to you, though, to listen to that segment, do the due diligence, and craft a pitch. So the pitch could be anything from like a 2-minute segment where you're on air talking about, the best herbs for a cook's garden. Use that same kind of content that you put in your newsletter. Or you could even do like a listener Q&A session where listeners call in and ask you questions about their garden and maintenance. So those are a couple of ideas just to get you started. You're going to take that same technique and reach out then to your local newspaper. All right, so we've got your newsletter set up. You've reached out to your local media in the beginning of the growing season. Then there's a third tactic that I want you to really strongly consider, and that is to host community events in your shop. The reason that I recommend this for you, Susan, is because you have a seasonal business, and I think it's really important that your community gets to know you and feels very connected to you in those 4 months that you're open. That's why they're going to pick your shop over somewhere like a Home Depot, because they know you and they feel a connection to you. All right, Susan, well, that's been your PR primer, and I hope that you'll email me and let me know how it goes. And if you found this helpful, please do share it, whether Twitter, Facebook, or just good old-fashioned email. I'll see you next time.